When you hear that sound in the bedroom, it's just jarring.
It makes me feel icky when you hear that sound. Hi guys. Welcome back to another episode of Girls Gotta Eat.
Welcome back.
Sorry, you really just made me laugh. We won't talk about it.
I'm happy to share. I feel like some people ask sometimes, like, what do you do if you don't want to record, but you have to? It's like,
We do.
well, you have to do it.
Let's do it. Well, so Ashley, we hit record, and Ashley goes, I don't want to do this.
No, I'm excited it's a blessing to be able to do this. I'm excited to talk about this. I'll get it up, but I just had a moment of like, ugh. It's like cloudy owl. My knee hurts. I got to elevate my leg again. We'll talk about it. I'm just kind of fucked up right now.
It's not an option like it used to be, because like when I lived door to door in 8-minute walk to, like, we used to get 30 minutes into a podcast. We just like weren't vibing on it. And then we were just like, I don't want to do this. This isn't fun. And we'd be like, we just dead this. And we would be like, let's get it popping tomorrow. But
right. And you would walk 5 minutes home.
Yeah. And it didn't matter to me because I was literally 5 minutes away. But like now, the sunk cost of coming here, like you've already been in a car for 40 minutes today.
Well, the car ride was lit because I'm bringing radio back. This is very funny because I just had posted on Instagram, like, have you guys heard of Power 106? And I say that only because I've just moved here and not the radio era. But it's this iconic station. It's like LA's #1 hip hop station. And my car just started playing the radio the other day. I haven't listened to the radio yet. I get in, it connects to AirPlay and my Spotify plays, whatever. And CarPlay, AirPlay, CarPlay. And the radio came on. I was like, what? And then, so I've just been for the past 48 hours bumping Power 106. I love the DJs. And then from, I guess, I'm assuming it's 12 to 1, they do this mix, like DJ mix, which I love. Nothing slaps harder than like a radio DJ mix. Like when I used to do radio in Atlanta and I would do the segment on the station, it was DJ Baby Drew and he would do Friday. And it's like so good. Like that's my favorite when it's a real live DJ, like DJ and all the hits.
Do you listen to Howard Stern in the morning when you were a kid?
Well, I did. It's so funny that you asked me that because I did Howard Stern. I did the after show yesterday. What, your dad listened to it in the car?
No, I listened to it in the mornings. Yeah, when I was a kid. Like, maybe not that young, maybe like high school.
Okay, high school.
Because I listened to it in the mornings always.
Well, because my dad would play it in the car, and I would remember leaving the house, and my mom would be like, "Don't you play Howard Stern with her, Lee?"
That is the funniest dad thing.
Like, I would be young, and Howard Stern's on. I think my dad was like, "She doesn't know what's happening." I'm like, this probably shaped me into who I am today.
Wait, Ashley, okay, what is worse? Tessa can answer. My dad basically forcing me to watch Law & Order SVU when I was in elementary school and middle school. That was my babysitter with him. Or Howard Stern in the car on the way to school.
So much worse, SVU. That's the graphic images. Like, I was probably just hearing about, like, titties and, like, whatever. Howard Stern still talks about titties and shit because I listened to it yesterday.
I was 8 and my mom was like, why can't she sleep through the night? That's so weird.
Well, I mean, I can't even imagine because I saw the Michael Jackson Thriller video too young and I had nightmares for weeks.
You did?
That video was scary. The zombies are crawling up through the floorboards. Like, I was too young. I was like, trying to look, but hiding behind the couch. And I think my parents didn't think anything of it. They were like, this is this fun song. It's a music video. Scarred for weeks.
Which is the one with Macaulay Culkin? Which video is he in?
What?
Macaulay Culkin starts one of the videos.
Oh, black or white?
Black or white.
Black or white.
Okay. This episode of Girls Gotta Eat is sponsored by Living Proof. For visibly healthier hair, Living Proof makes hair products that are customized to your needs. To get 15% off your first purchase, go to livingproof.com/GGE and use the code GGEHAIR. And thanks to Native for supporting Girls Gotta Eat. Native makes safe, simple, effective products that people use every day with trusted ingredients. Get 20% off your first order by going to nativedeo.com/GGE or use promo code GGE at checkout.
Yes, and thanks to Daily Harvest for supporting Girls Gotta Eat. Daily Harvest keeps our freezers stocked with good food that's always ready when we are. Go to dailyharvest.com/GGE to get up to $65 off your first box. And thanks to Athletic Greens for supporting GGE. Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system. It's just one scoop and a cup of water every day. Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/GGE. patreon.com/GGE.
Can I tell you something nice about our audience?
What?
To kick off the episode. So you and I were at the farmer's market in Brentwood on Sunday. It was like a really nice moment. I got to take you there. And we went with Allie Colbert, who's been on our show before and has her own podcast. And we kept getting approached by listeners of our show. And Allie said this thing to me and it really resonated with me. She said, when your fans approach you or your audience approaches you, they don't say like, oh my God, they say thank you. They don't say we're a fan. They say thank you. And it like, I never really thought about it. It really resonated with me that like people thank us. And it meant so much to me. And I like really thought about it. We had multiple more fan interactions that day. I hate to keep saying fans. Of course, I mean audience. But listeners. People, well, I don't think of you guys as fans. I think of you as our audience and, you know, our friends and our daughters. But it just, I don't know. It really reminded me how special this is and how special people listen to the show are and like what we mean to them, what they mean to us. I don't know. It's a nice dynamic. And it's like an honor that people feel like we like helped them in the world. And I'll always feel so fulfilled by that. So I just thought it was like a really nice notion. I thought it was really nice she noticed that.
It was just a good day of interactions with you guys. It was really special. Like, I loved everyone that we met. Like, this one girl came up. She was like, I've been listening to you since I was like 20. You've like helped raise me. I was like, I can't. And this other girl, this just like beautiful girl who like taught Pilates. I was like, I'll go to your class. Okay, that farmer's market. This was insane. Okay, we went to the Brentwood Farmer's Market. Everyone was so tall. It was shocking to me. I couldn't get over it. Like, I got there and I was waiting for you. I got in line for coffee. I see these two women, like 6'2 plus, 6'2, 6'3, looking like Stephanie and her sister, gorgeous girls. And then I just kept seeing so many tall couples. Like, no one was under 5'11". I felt short. And like, you guys were not noticing it because everyone's taller than you and Allie.
So I go to this farmer's market every weekend. It's near Santa Monica. It's a lot of families. It has never occurred to me one time because I'm so small and I just go through life. Everybody's taller than me. Like, I've never looked at people's boobs and thought her boobs are so big because I'm just in the culture. I look at their boobs and I think your boobs are just like me. And really tall people, I don't think about how tall they are because I'm so short. And so I'm like, everybody's tall.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's like a parallel with those two things.
Those seemed like opposite.
Yeah. Well, I guess if everybody was super flat chested, I would be like, everyone's so flat. I'd notice.
If everybody looked like me.
But if everyone was walking around with like huge cans on their chest, it would just seem normal to me.
I couldn't get over it. I was like, what is going on in Brentwood? Like, they just grow them tall over here. Like, it's in the water. It was so nuts. Every guy, every girl, the couples, I was like shocked by it.
It is really shocking.
It was just crazy because I'm tall and I'm usually on the taller end and everyone was taller than me, but like so many 6 foot plus women where I was like, is there a basketball conference or volleyball? Like, what is happening? I loved it.
I never noticed.
I texted my brother. Shocking. I was like, Matt, something's happening here at this farmer's market. And he goes, what is going on? Because I mean, Matt, obviously he's so tall. He loves a tall woman. You know, him and his wife are the tallest couple I know. And he was like, is this the first time you've been there? I'm like, it's not like it's just a farmer's market. I'm not at some like event, like it's just a farmer's market.
What did you ask me if there was like a basketball center down the street? You were like, be honest with me.
This was, I will say, this past weekend, this is pretty dated. So we are recording before we even leave for Ohio. And because next week we're going to be traveling in New York and all this stuff. But so this just past weekend, which was like the last weekend we've had in LA for a couple weeks, was like my favorite weekend I've had in LA. It was just so special. And a couple of really cool things happened where I like ran into, and you too, like new friends of ours just out, which is so special. I love that feeling of community and like, you know, that small town, like you're just running into your friends, like friends. Like I was out Friday night. I had a show, went out with Andrew Collin afterwards, ran into one of our new friends, Hannah, at this rooftop. She like drove me home. Then the next day we're out running around. We did all these fun things Saturday. We ran into like,
you guys, we had so many plans.
We had the most fun
Endless
day.
amounts of plans.
Ran into your friend who literally the day before I was saying I have to meet because she's like your mistress and you hang out with her all the time and I don't know her. And so I loved her. We like bopped around. We did this other thing where we were at this very famous person's house who is like an icon, a legend, someone we look up to so much. And we were just like talking to him all afternoon, making him laugh. I was like, I can't even believe this.
I can't believe it happened.
I can't believe it. Like I was like, I can't believe this is happening. Like it was so surreal. That was on Sunday. The whole weekend was just perfect. I just was like, I fucking love it here. I'm so happy.
We hang out a lot here.
We went to brunch and then I was like, what are you doing? You were like, I'm just probably going to like hang and be alone. I was like, I'm going to come over.
Yeah. And I was like, you want to just like take an Uber from my house? Or, and you're like, I'll just come over. And then you were like, I'm just going to text a couple of our friends, see what they're up to. And I was like, I hope no one's up to anything. And you were like, she's just down the street at the break. We could go meet her. And I was like, God damn it. And we went down there and then we ran into more of my friends who were like the friend that you were saying that like you have to meet. And I was like, why is this happening? And then our friend Taylor was like, I just want to go to this art show. So I was like, I'm definitely going to get to go home after the art show. That's going to be the end of the plans. We went to the art show and then like everybody wanted to get dinner. And I was like, I can't believe how many plans I've had today.
And then we got up and did plans the next day. We really hung out all weekend.
And then last night I came to hang out with you at our friend Marcelo's show at the Improv, who's amazing. And I thought it'd be like a big hang and everybody left. It was just me and you. It was just me and you alone in the green room all night.
So that brings me to what I wanted to share, which, yes, last night we went and saw Marcelo Hernandez at the Improv. So he's on this little tour. He's going to be so famous. Like, mark my words, he's going to be Kevin Hart, arenas, all the things. Like, I've known this since we first met him and I just know it. And so, I just want to say it now so you guys know I'm right when it happens. He's already super blowing up. He's on SNL and he's a good friend of ours. So we go to the Improv and I was going to park in the lot that I always park at for the Improv. And usually a lot of times there's not an attendant there. I just park there. Sometimes on the weekends there's an attendant and then they have a list of all the comics that are performing and then we park for free. So I park there. The attendant comes over. I was like, oh, I'm going to the Improv. Like, I'm a comic there. And he was like, well, are you on the show? And I'm like, no, but like, me, like it's me. And he just, he wasn't having it. He was like, it's $15. And I was like, I wasn't rude about it, but I was like, I don't want to pay this. Like, it's Tuesday. It's $15. I don't have cash on me. Like, ugh, whatever. Like, not rude to him, but I was like, fine, whatever. And parked on the street. Like, it said no parking, but it's LA. It's just kind of what everybody does. You just like roll the dice.
Yep. Hope for the best.
So we hang out. We leave the Improv. Like, Marcelo killed it. He was so great. I don't know. I got kind of, because I drove around looking for parking for so long, I got confused on where I parked. So I turned the other direction out of the Improv, go down the street, don't see my car. I'm like, I got towed. Because I do have unpaid parking tickets. And do you have to pay them? Like, I don't know. I left Atlanta. I had like 10 unpaid parking tickets.
I have like 50 unpaid parking tickets in the state of Indiana.
Right. That's how I was in Atlanta. I was
crazy
just like,
in college.
I was just like so broke and I just didn't do it. And then I just like got a new car. What are you going to do? You can't find me.
I was just like, these aren't real. I'm not going to live here the rest of my life. What do I care?
These aren't real. Because I think it's all such bullshit. And I'll say this.
Parking tickets?
Yes. All of
the punishment doesn't fit the crime.
It's
watch
such
like
bullshit.
$100 because I parked it. Just charge me a parking fee of $15.
I hate it. So fuck those parking tickets. So I am like, oh my God, they towed my car. So I call you and I was like freaking out, like, oh my God. And you're like, are you sure you didn't park on this street? Because I swear I just saw a Jaguar. And like, you probably did. I was like, you're right. And then I remembered that I walked from that direction. I'm like, you're right. So I come.
But listen, it was late. It was 10:30 at night and it's dark. Yeah. It's scary to be alone on a residential street. That stuff scares me.
Yeah. So I walked back the other way and I'm like, oh my God, I made such a mistake. Obviously, this is where I parked. And I see you. You're like, are you good? I'm like, I'll be good. I can see the car from here, kind of. And I'm walking down the sidewalk and I don't know, I was like looking at my phone or whatever. And I tripped and fell so hard. My watch flew off. Like, my watch was on the sidewalk. My phone flew. My keys flew. My purse like flew over me. Everything is scattered. I broke the fall with my left knee, which is my bad knee that I already hurt this year. I was just like laying there like, oh my God, like I needed a minute to get up. And guess who comes to my rescue? Parking attendant. Parking attendant who I'd been like, ugh, whatever.
He messed up. He just let you in that lot to begin with.
Of course, like full circle moment. And I was like so grateful. He like helped me up physically. He like gave me his arm. He was like, oh my God, he was freaking out. He was like, are you okay? You need to make sure you get home and ice that. I mean, I fell hard. Like, it really hurt.
I felt so bad for you because, I was like so traumatized from my
like,
fall.
Why is this when you're trying to find your car?
I know.
And then you fall.
It's just, and also it's like night and you're by yourself. I was like alone in that parking lot. I was like really crying. Like, it also just really scares you. Like, this could have been so much worse. Like, I don't know, like you're bleeding and you're all scraped up and your stuff goes flying. It's like so traumatizing. I can't explain why it's so upsetting. I was like sitting in my car shaking for like 20 minutes before I could calm down. This happened to me.
I know. And you're in physical pain. I mean, for me, like a full grown ass person to fall and like break the fall with one hand and one knee, I was limping to my car.
I felt so bad.
I was like, I am tripping, just like Rayna.
I'd be tripping a lot.
So anyway, pick your feet up when you walk. And it was just so funny that parking attendant came and got me.
So funny.
I was like, I should have given me that $15.
I can't decide if I would rather be alone or not. No one came to help me when it happened to me. And I don't know if I would have wanted help.
I mean, it was just such a nice gesture. I mean, he ran down the street. I was like kind of far down the street and he like really just saw it happen and like took off running. It was so nice.
I feel it in my stomach. It's like really upset me when that happened. Yeah. So like, I feel for you. Well, I'm glad you're okay.
Thanks.
Speaking of busting your body open and bleeding. Oh, God. I have a breast reduction update. You guys are like, God damn it, Rayna. More.
Oh, my God.
So I had my second breast reduction in August last year, or at Labor Day weekend. And the first time I got it done, they were too big. So I had the same guy do it a second time, and they're still too big, honestly. But whatever, I live with it. And they fluctuate a little bit in size around my period, but they're fine now. And the scars have mostly healed. My nipples are like fully fine both times, like totally fine, no problems there. And the scarring was a little bit worse the second time, but actually almost a year later now it's like pretty much okay. But on my left breast, I guess this can happen. So when you look at my breasts from the front, they are like a perfect shape. But if I lift up my arm on the left-hand side, the scarred tissue didn't redistribute perfectly. And so there's almost like a dent. Like when I lift my arm up, the tissue looks like it sort of pinches. Mm-hmm. And it causes like a dent. And when I lay back, my breasts don't look like a perfect like apple almost. And I'm too far down this road for them to not be perfect. I refuse to have problems. So I'm going to get a revision on the left one. People are like, I can't believe every year she gets more breast surgery.
Oh my God. But this is like, breasts are really tricky. I mean, Jenny Jones, she had a mastectomy, but she's cancer free, but she's had to have like 6 surgeries. They're really finicky. Like if you've had a breast reduction or reconstruction, whatever it is, and you're just like one and done, like I feel like one of the lucky ones.
And I don't know that much about like breast tissue, and like my breasts have never fluctuated with weight. Like they've just always been really huge. And I don't know, I have like an oversupply of breast tissue. I don't know. I really don't know if that has anything to do with it, but the way it just sort of like redistributed is not perfect. And you can get steroid shots to sort of loosen this up. So basically like the scar, it almost just pulls, like when you pull down on like a string on a shirt.
Oh.
When I lift up my arm. So you can get steroid shots in it. And I did try that a couple times and there was like no difference. And you are supposed to like massage the scar and it can sort of like loosen things up, but it's not perfect. And I've been through too much to not have these be perfect. So we found this office reached out to us, Dr. Daniel Barrett Beverly Hills Plastic Surgery. And you and I, they'd reached out because one of the wonderful girls there listens to the show. We went in and you and I had such an amazing experience with them. Mm-hmm. I got Botox. You got Botox?
I got Dysport. Botox is a brand name. Same what I forget what those things are called. It's like a long technical name, but
I won't.
Whatever it is. The things that, do what Botox does. Dysport is like a newer, I think, brand name, and it's supposed to look and feel a little more natural. It lasts longer on some people. So I did that. And I mean, I was so thrilled. Mm-hmm. Like Nurse Pam is the injector there, and just, wow, it was an incredible experience. It was so fun. There was a bunch of people in the room. Like you were squeezing a breast implant. I was squeezing these like testicle implants as like stress balls. And we just had a great experience there.
Yeah. And so when we were doing that, this is not necessarily a surgery I would have done. It's not like the end of the world. You can't see it in clothing.
Yeah.
Really, there's only certain positions I'd ever be in that you'd even notice this, but I don't like the way it looks. And I feel like I've come too far to only come this 100%. Far. You know? Who said that? Kim Kardashian.
What is it really?
She's quoting someone else.
You're going to get it tattooed on you?
Yeah.
Like your Dave Matthews.
No one knows how to work these days either. That's the other tattoo.
It's like no one wants to work.
No one wants to work. So we were there and we were talking to her, and I just mentioned that she said that Dr. Barrett is the boob guy. So I was like, can you just look at this? And she right away knew like what it was. And she's like, why don't you come in for a consultation? And I did. And I really liked talking to him. And I think he has so hot. I was like, please don't look at this deformity in my left breast. I love you.
He's like married, obviously, as a family, but
he's so hot.
He's very hot.
I'm glad this came up.
He follows us too. I'm like, oh, I follow them. And it's funny when there's just like titties in your feed. They post a lot of bare chests and they show their work.
I told them they're not allowed to do that to me.
It's
in the contract.
I mean, of course you have to agree to that.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even, when I got my rhinoplasty, I was like, I don't really want you to share my like before and afters, whatever. It's just personal preference, but I'm happy to show them to anybody who asks. But yeah, it's funny when you open your Instagram and it's just like boobs.
Uh-huh.
And like someone's looking over your shoulder, like, what is she into?
You know that I edit. So you and I have the Vibes app, and in the Vibes app, I'm responsible for the videos. So I have to look at all the videos ahead of time and make notes. And I like to go to Soho House to do this because I feel like I can't do it at home. I just like, I can't focus. I went to Soho House yesterday and like I'm watching these videos and they're about how to like take sexier pics. And there's one about how to finger better. And this girl, Dr. Taylor Nolan, she has like a vagina puppet essentially. And she's teaching how to finger this puppet.
Oh my God.
And I'm watching it in the middle of Soho House. And I always think like on my computer, I'm like, what do people think? pink.
Did you mean to say puppet?
Yeah, puppet. A vagina puppet. It's like a giant puppet of a vagina. And so she shows how to like touch different parts of like the vulva and the clitoris. So anyways, I had a really good experience with Dr. Barrett and his team and his staff. So I am going to get a revision on my left breast. It's so annoying. The scars are fine. And they've actually like in the last couple months have gotten way better. But he's going to do a little bit of scar revision where they just hit him with a laser.
Okay.
You can almost not see my scars. At night, after like a long day, they get a little more red than normal.
Oh,
when
really?
I first wake up in the morning, you can almost not see them. Isn't that funny?
That's it. Working hard all day.
Yeah, my
keeping shit
titties are
together.
keeping my actual breast sewn together.
You're like, it's been a long day. Scars.
What if I was dating somebody
tired.
and I took my shirt off and they were like, "You had a hard day." The scars, red.
Oh my gosh.
So I am going to get the surgery. This is the 19th. I'm going to get the surgery in 2 days.
Oh my God.
So I have to do all kinds of things. I figure out how to get a blood test and all kinds of things done before that. But I am going to get the surgery in 2 days. The recovery from this is supposed to be much easier because it's not a full breast reduction. They're not taking my nipples off or anything like before. We'll see. I'll keep you guys posted. It is still like general anesthesia, so I'm going to be out and I'll let you guys know how it goes. But I'm excited and I like this doctor and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, if you guys are looking for a plastic surgeon, I mean, does he do everything? Or he specializes in breasts, but he does a lot. And his whole thing is, I'm looking at his Instagram now, is the natural plastic surgeon.
Oh,
so
okay.
just wanting, to have like a natural look, which I love.
Yeah, me too.
And I felt like that even in the office, obviously, with like Nurse Pam. Like
Yes,
they don't
me
want
too.
you to look crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's take a quick break and then we will get right back into it. I am telling you guys about Daily Harvest. I had one of my smoothies this morning. We could truly not live without Daily Harvest. It just is my whole entire freezer. And it's just so great if you have like a busy schedule and you're not having as much time to cook, but you still want a healthy meal that's going to be quick and easy to make. So they will deliver delicious smoothies, flatbreads, soups, harvest bowls, and more built on fruits and vegetables all right to your door. Everything is easy to prep. So I'm just going to go to the site now and talk about some of the things that I love. I love the mint and cacao smoothie. I've said that since day one. I have one every single Monday to start my week. The banana and almond smoothie I love. The strawberry and cashew. I've been loving the mango and papaya smoothie. It's just a really nice tropical
I
flavor.
had it yesterday. I'm obsessed with it.
It's so
Tried
good.
it the first time yesterday.
I love some mango. And then I have been loving these grains. I brought these over one day and they come in this bag and there was more than just like one serving in there. So I'll just have like half of it, just put it in the stovetop, a little bit of water in the pan. And they're like these grain bowls. They're so good.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love the harvest bowls, but I'm kind of been turning more towards the grain bowls lately. Like I really love it all. But the cilantro brown rice and black bean is so good. The curried brown rice and green chickpea. I've had both of those, so I can speak on those. I'm just obsessed with them. It's such a hearty lunch. I'll even do like a little salsa on it or something to like spice it up. And that's really all you need. And we also love their bites and the scoops. That's going to be your dessert vibe with Daily Harvest. And we just can't stress enough that this is a great way to start your day with a smoothie and have a quick, easy lunch, and everything just makes you feel really good. And, the grains are great for dinner too, lunches, dinners, your family, whatever you guys are into. And they are committed to human and planetary health, which means they do their absolute best to ensure transparency and integrity when it comes to their ingredients. And the packaging is sustainable, where possible, recyclable, compostable. And so we are huge fans and we have a great discount for you. Eating delicious, nourishing, and easy to prep meals has never been easier thanks to Daily Harvest. Go to dailyharvest.com/GGE to get up to $65 off your first box. That is dailyharvest.com/GGE for up to $65 off your first box.
Yes. And if you have been feeling like finding the right hair care products is really frustrating for you or expensive, Ashley and I are both huge fans of Living Proof. We cannot recommend it enough. I love all their products, and Living Proof is the leader in scientifically proven high performance hair care. Their mission is to solve the world's toughest hair care challenges by inventing different types of exclusive hair tech to treat individual hair health needs. So I'm just going to go through their website and just tell you guys about the stuff that I really love. First of all, I use their dry shampoo almost every single day. You guys know that I hate doing my hair in general and washing it constantly. And so I use their Restore shampoo and conditioner 3 times a week. But when I work out, I like to just blow my hair dry. And then I'd use the dry shampoo and I'm obsessed with it. It is so good. We've been saying this for so long. You've loved it for so long.
Well, yeah, I use all the products. I use like the mousse and the volumizing spray. I've been using the thickening cream recently. So I'll do this all over, root to tip. The thickening cream is what I'm into. I like the full line because my hair is kind of fine. So I'm always trying to make it look fuller. But yeah, we love all of it. That dry shampoo, couldn't live without it. Could not literally live without it. If I forget it when I leave to travel, I'm going back.
Yeah, me too. I have all the travel sizes as well. Living Proof understands there is not a one size fits all solution for hair types. So Living Proof's online hair care quiz will analyze your specific needs and can tell you what type of things to buy from them. And they have all kinds of products to address the different hair care needs that you have. So they have anti-frizz, volume and fullness, strength and repair, dry styling, multitasking, hold, and air drying. So many different things for you. We really recommend it. We don't travel without it. We don't shower without it. We absolutely love it. You can save your hair from the guessing game and give it the products your hair deserves with Living Proof. To get 15% off your first purchase, go to livingproof.com/GGE and use code GGE hair. That's livingproof.com/GGE with code GGE hair for 15% off your first purchase.
Okay, so I have this TikTok that I wanted to play for you. I save TikToks like all the time to like discuss on the show, and I'm going to start like doing more of them because I just love some of these things. They make you think. So I wanted to see what you thought of this. This guy is the Jaunt, Jaunt, is like 50,000 followers. I don't know. I'm just liking what he's been posting. The title is Trust Their Attraction. Okay. It just spoke to me. I want to see what you think. Okay.
In terms of attractiveness, you're not really competing against everyone else. And maybe this is just me, but like, for example, I don't find Victoria's Secret models to be attractive. I don't really find like the whole model abstract to be attractive in general. But I'm sure some girl would think like, oh, every guy wants to be with the Victoria's Secret model. And vice versa, I'm sure guys look at other guys and think, oh, I bet every girl would want to be with him, when in reality there's a lot of girls who would just be like, nah, I'm not interested. So the reality is, I think, you're not competing with everyone, because the person that you're dating is dating you because they have a very specific taste in what you look like. You know, you might be objectively a 6 or a 7, but in their eyes you're a 10. And then a 10 might walk by, an objective 10 might walk by, and they're going to be like, oh, that person's a 6 or a 7. And this should comfort you, if anything. If the person you're dating says that they find you incredibly attractive, even though you don't think you are, they very well might be telling the truth. You just might really be their type.
Do you like that?
Yeah, I love it.
I just like it. You just have to hear that sometimes.
I totally do. And I think that so many people fight against insecurities and they're like, I can't believe you're with me, or I can't believe you find me attractive. And it's like, they just do.
Yeah, like
it's not deeper than that.
I just have to constantly remind myself how taste is subjective.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, some people really don't like Beyonce. That's insane to me. Some people like heavy metal music. Insanity. I have to leave the room if it comes on. Like,
you and I scanned a bar this weekend and we both picked out two guys that could not have looked any more dissimilar. And like, you were like, that guy's so hot. I was like, that guy's so hot. And you were like, this is why we're best friends.
Yeah.
It's just, there are so many men that I think are like probably objectively really good looking that like just aren't for me.
No, I don't want a guy that looks like a model, really. Like, of course I want an attractive guy. I would love if I thought he was the hottest guy in the world and everyone else thought he was ugly. I'm like, stay away. What do I care? Like, yeah, I don't want you hitting on my man. No, I'm just kidding. But like, I'm not like a model either, clearly. But I just have never gone for that. Like perfection, perfectly symmetrical face, like six pack. Like, I don't know.
I don't gravitate towards it. I mean, my friend Jackie loves a dad bod. It makes me laugh so hard. Every time she like brings a guy, I'm like, dad bod.
I mean, she is like a smoke. And there was this guy that was at the bar with her. I was like, oh, that's interesting. But yes. And then we go to this art party and it was so crazy because you think who you think is hot is who everyone's going to think is hot. You're like, how could they not think that's the hottest guy in the room, or the hottest girl in the room? And we look into the kitchen and I'm like, that guy. And you're like, that guy. I'm like, that guy? Like, we're so different. And it's just such a solid reminder. People like what they like. And I feel like you are always out here saying what you've done for bald men and like put them on the map. And that's something that a lot of women don't want.
I have like a very specific type, and some of my friends are like, oh.
Like, and it's so comforting because I'm like, we're never going to fight.
I really love like a very masculine looking, like big, covered in tattoos, bald with a beard looking guy. And like, that's not for everybody. I think that there's plenty of people that like are traditionally attracted that I'm not attracted to. I'm not attracted to people that like I think are ugly, but maybe you do, you know?
I want to be really clear I like attractive guys. There's no one on my roster that's not attractive. Yeah. What I'm talking about is like model, like out of the magazine. Like, I just don't like perfection, for lack of a better word. And I don't really think I find that attractive in women either. Like, perfect looking model.
You know what? You and I are also not attracted to the same women. Do you realize that over the years, I'll be like, this girl is gorgeous. And you'll be like, she's fine.
Yes.
And vice versa. You'll be like, I think she is a perfect face. And I'll be like, I guess. Like, we are not attracted to the same people ever.
But like when I say perfect though, I'm like, I think of this one girl and like I used to know her and she was like a pageant girl and she got like everything done to her face to be like perfect, like perfectly symmetrical, like every feature, like everything. It's like Barbie doll. And I'm like, that's not for me. You know, I love a hot guy, but it's like, it's not going to be guys that are too pretty either. Like I really like masculine features. Like I don't like really pretty guys.
Yeah. My height is like a good example of this because like somebody my height is not for everybody, but like I think it's great and it will be for some people so much. Like some guys are just like, I like a girl that's my height. I like a taller girl. Like this guy I was talking to the other day, we were out and I was like, tell me every girl at the bar you're attracted to. And we're like pointing out girls and he's like, you're just too short for me. This is not like a romantic person, so I'm not insulted by it, but he's like, you're too short for me, too little for me. But like my ex was 6'3" and like loves a short girl, loves like a really tiny petite girl. Like I am not going to be for everybody. I have like extreme proportions. I'm 5 feet tall. I have huge boobs, but like just because other people are attractive doesn't make me less attractive. Like I try to remind myself that all the time. Like I'm just not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but like other people are going to be like, that's the best fucking thing I've ever seen. She's a tiny little baby thing.
And I just also feel like when you're really into somebody, you're in love with them or really like them, you're enjoying dating them, you're attracted to them, the sex is good, whatever it may be, like you're in it with them. You are not looking at other people and being like, ugh, they're hotter. I'm not. Some people might. Some people might. Let me just clarify. Some people might, probably more men than women. But like most people, when they're in it with somebody that they really like, aren't checking other people out and like comparing them against you.
My emotional connection to somebody makes them much more attractive to me. And it's like another person that I guess is quote unquote better looking than that person, like a traditional societal 10 is not as attractive to me because I'm like, I know this person at their core and that's attractive to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were checking out this guy in the airport. What airport was it?
We were in Philadelphia and I'd been drinking all night. I had nonstop.
And your eyesight.
American airline flights don't have screens. And
some do, but
them
lately they have not been having the screens.
Yes, they've not had screens. So I had nothing to do besides get drunk on this plane for hours. And I was delirious. And it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. It was like 11 o'clock.
It was late.
It was late. And we saw this guy and you and Tessa made fun of me so hard.
Well, Rayna, listen, and this is not shaming anybody, but I was like, that guy is like electrician bod. Like
he looked like a Pittsburgh dad.
He was coming over to fix your toilet.
He did.
Which is nothing wrong with that. I love a hot plumber, but that was not it. That was not Buck. That was just like
he was 20 years older than Buck.
Very like middle-aged dad vibe. Like not it at all. But then I'm like, if that guy knew you, well, like he got closer and you walked it back.
He got closer and it wasn't for me, but I just feel like I just see a bald person and I'm into it.
Yeah.
Of all ages.
But that guy might be like, this girl wants it. Like he feels like the luckiest guy in the world.
I'm not going to fuck that guy. You and Tessa made fun of me so hard. I thought I was going to pee my pants.
That was funny. Anyway, so I just want to say that if you're with somebody, they're dating you, they're fucking you, they think you're hot, just stop thinking they're comparing you to every other person. Like they may not even think those other perfect looking model hot people are hot. And body types too. Like you said, you're short, tall, like thin, thicker, big boobs, small boobs, butt, no butt. Like people have just different preferences. And if they're with you, they like what you're working with.
My butt's been getting bigger.
Yeah.
I'm like really turning up the resistance on the Peloton. I mean, it's like really getting big.
It looks good.
It's like juicy. I made you touch it the other day.
Oh yeah,
I've really been hugging a lot. But yeah, it's been getting bigger. I'm into it. So if anybody's like into like a big bootied girl who recently had her 3rd breast surgery, hit me up.
If anyone's into this. Most people probably. Okay, so this week starts And Just Like That season 2.
Mm-hmm.
Huge deal. I can't wait.
I can't wait.
And the biggest news is that Kim Cattrall is coming back for the finale. No one really knows how much she's getting paid, and she's not filming with anybody. So she is not going to be with any of the cast. And then also specifically, I think, Michael Patrick King. She's like refusing to be around any of these people.
Yeah.
And I've been reading these articles about it. It's like worldwide breaking news. And I saw this funny meme that was like, Kim Cattrall really said, put another 0 on the end of that and I'm not fucking talking to anybody, which I thought was so funny. No one really knows how much she got paid. if she's not with them, it's just a monologue. Like, I'm excited, but like, I'm not that excited. Like, she's coming back to shoot a solo scene. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like people are so juiced up about this and the details of it are actually not that exciting.
Is it a phone call? Is that what she's shooting? Like, she's interacting with somebody,
I mean,
right?
no one knows. I mean, maybe someone knows. I just don't know. But so anyway, I just kind of started to deep dive on the feud. Because the whole thing is like her and Sarah Jessica Parker don't get along, or Kim Cattrall's been like, we've never been friends or whatever. Yes. But did you know, like...
I know nothing about it, and you've never heard anything like this before. I've never heard of people that... I mean, you hear people on shows together for 10, 15 years that don't hate each other like this.
So Kim Cattrall will say they've never been friends. People say that it's always been about money. Kim Cattrall will also say it's not always been about money. People that worked on the show, like at the top, would say like, well, yeah, Sarah Jessica made more money. She was like the lead. And so I don't want to misspeak here, but I went into like a deep dive kind of on it. And Sarah Jessica Parker, who knows what the truth is, but in every interview, she's like, I don't know. I don't get it. Like, we have no beef. I don't understand it. Like, yada, yada, yada. And obviously the other cast members kind of side with her. But then I went deeper. And in 2018, I guess Kim Cattrall's brother died. Like suddenly or something. February 6, 2018.
Okay.
Kim Cattrall feed post. No, not a story, a feed.
Wait, before you read this, also backing up. So they did the 2 movies, and then Kim Cattrall refused to do a 3rd movie.
Yes, which I understand. The second movie fucking sucked.
Right. But I'm just saying, like, for timeline, I'm saying it was prior to this, she was just like, I'm out on this shit, right?
Yeah. They're just bringing her back because everyone's obsessed with her and begging for her. And like, they realize what a void there is without her in the show. And I feel like over the years, we also realized even before and just like that she was the best one.
Totally.
Right? But yeah, I also think there was years where they couldn't get the first movie made because she was halting.
Okay.
And then, of course, she didn't want to do a 3rd. The second one was terrible.
Oh
like,
my
she's
God.
like, this is over.
Unwatchable.
So I guess like her brother died like maybe suddenly or something back in 2018. So Kim Cattrall on her feed writes, I would like to thank my fans, friends, and my hashtag Sex and the City colleagues for the outpouring of support for myself and family over the past 72 hours. And then I guess people were coming out and saying their support for her online, Sarah Jessica included. The next post, February 10th, 2018, 4 days later, feed post, Rayna.
Okay.
I don't need your love or support at this tragic time at Sarah Jessica Parker. Let me read you the caption.
What?
My mom asked me today, when will that at Sarah Jessica Parker tagged her? When will that Sarah Jessica Parker, that hypocrite, leave you alone? Your continuous reaching out is a painful reminder of how cruel you really were then and now. Let me make this very clear. If I haven't already, you are not my family. You are not my friend. So I'm writing to tell you one last time to stop exploiting our tragedy in order to restore your quote unquote nice girl persona. And then she copy and pasted a link that was like from the New York Post about the mean girls culture that destroyed Sex and the City, about how everyone was like toxic on set. This is still up. I screenshotted it yesterday.
This is crazy.
Like, she hates Sarah Jessica Parker. Like, I didn't know that it was this deep or this out there. I thought it was always just been like speculation. Like, she's like, don't fucking talk to me, bitch, and don't talk about my family. And that still lives on her feed.
That is so
Did you not know? Right. I didn't know
I never
this.
knew this. I didn't even realize that she like refused to be, what's the guy's name?
Michael Patrick King.
Yeah, refused to be, he's the show's creator.
Yeah, he's a show's creator or a producer.
I mean, clearly this was like work related and something happened where like he took Sarah Jessica Parker's side, whether it's financially or whatever it is, and she just doesn't want to have anything to do with these people. Like, it's bigger than her just having some like beef with Sarah Jessica.
Yeah, and Kim Cattrall also posted on, I think probably June 1st, I think her caption was like Happy Pride, and she posted an article announcing that she was going to return. So she's like milking it, as she very well should. Like, she's clearly getting off in the best way with the money and all the attention and validation that she's the fucking favorite and that she can turn this abomination of a show around with 10 minutes at the end. I don't know, but also they're so smart because you're going to watch until the end.
Oh, fuck yeah. I'm going to watch every second of that show. I'm going to talk shit every week with you about it.
But I'm glad that I know that it isn't some sort of reunion at the end. And I'm glad that I am not going to be anticipating that and be disappointed. I'm glad that they were like, hey, she didn't shoot with anybody. So don't be expecting some like happy reunion. Anyway, so I went deep last night on this article of the timeline and I was like, that is crazy. And then I'm like, there's no way that's still on her feed, right? There's no way. She must have deleted that. She was heated in the moment. No.
That is so crazy.
I'm glad I could share this
I
with
will
you.
tell you what, though, and I've said this to you privately about other things that have happened. When I have had a falling out with somebody over something that is like truly painful, bad. Their behavior was bad. We have never resolved this. Not like, I don't know how we got here. You get falling out with friends where you just sort of drift apart and you feel like, I don't know how we got to this. If there is like a real inflection point where like we have decided to not have a relationship with each other, I do not want to hear from you when times are bad. And I don't want to hear from you when times are good. I'm not interested in you being in my airspace. Like, it's almost like when you hear from an ex on your birthday.
Yeah.
I don't want you to come in here and ruin my day. And when times are bad, I definitely do not want your sympathy. I don't want to hear from you. I have like felt like this for a really long time. I don't want to hear from somebody if we've had a falling out and we have not addressed the falling out at a time when a family member died. I don't want your fucking sympathy. I fully agree with her response.
I mean, you and I may have a little bit differing thoughts. Like, it just depends on who it is. It depends on what happened.
Totally.
And it depends on what happened with the tragedy or the loss or something like that. You know what I mean? Because I do think there's friends you may have lost touch, or even exes, like their parent dies. They're genuinely reaching out because they're like, I feel that. Like, I think I haven't talked to an ex of mine in years. And if I heard his parent died, I don't know. He might not want to hear from me also. Like, I'm just thinking of like, sometimes it's a genuine, like, my heart is hurting, and some people do appreciate it. So not everybody is like you. I think everybody's so different when it comes to this stuff. But this sounds like Sarah Jessica Parker was making it like public and like quote unquote what she thinks was exploiting.
It's tiered to me, but even like your ex is a good example. You guys don't hate each other. It wouldn't be the
We don't hate
craziest
each
thing
other.
in the world if he reached out to you on a day like that. It wouldn't make the day worse. To me,
He reached out to me about Dewey and stuff, which I was appreciative.
Right. But you guys don't hate each other. What I'm saying is if there was like an inflection point where we really have beef with each other and this was a very negative falling out, I do not want to hear from you at times like this.
Yeah.
That's my hard line.
Yeah. I don't even know if I have anybody like that though, right?
On my birthday last year, I heard from somebody I'd had a falling out with, and he like had really hurt me. It was really painful. We'd never spoken again. And he'd sent me this message on my birthday, and it upset me a lot. I don't really want to hear from you. So I guess those are my feelings. If like we've never resolved any of this and it's not really water under the bridge, I don't want to hear from you.
Well, also birthdays, fuck off. That's different than tragedy. You know what I mean?
Totally.
But every situation is so vastly different because you could be really mourning the loss of someone in your life, and this person from your past reaches out and makes you feel worse.
Yeah, I don't.
So it just depends. I mean, who's to say?
I don't want you to use a tragedy in my life as a catalyst for getting back in my life.
Yeah.
If I just lost touch with you, then that's kind of nice. If somebody you just drifted apart from, I would always appreciate that. But I don't know, we spiraled. But those are my feelings.
Anyway, I just thought that was like fascinating. And I don't know, I can't get a read on Sarah Jessica Parker. Like, sometimes I watch interviews with her and I do feel like she can come across a little fake, but what do I know? She's an actress. You know, like I can almost see her being like, I don't get it. I don't know. And it's like, yes, you do. Like, who's the crazy one here? Because you can't have Sarah Jessica Parker over here being like, I have no idea what she's talking about. We don't have any beef. And then you have Kim Cattrall like, don't fucking talk about my family, bitch. Like, I just gotta know. It's like, it's keeping me up at night.
I mean, it makes Sarah Jessica Parker look like a fake phony. Like, and I don't even know if that's the case, but like, clearly one of them is very angry. The other person to be like, I don't know what the problem is.
Right.
It makes you look really like a bad person.
Right.
You could just be like, I'm sick of talking about this. And yeah, we had a falling out, people falling outs with their people at work, and I'm not talking about this anymore.
Like, giving gaslighting.
Yeah. Or it's giving Raquel. Like, it's giving Raquel. We're not pathological liars. All we lied about was this.
Yeah. All right. Well, we really spiraled. Let's talk about our remaining partners, and then we will get into the topic. I am telling you about AG1. This is something that I use every day. I started taking AG1, aka Athletic Greens, to really help with immune support and gut health and all the good things, but above all, immune support and just not getting sick. And I've just been in this refusal mode to get sick for like a year now, and I really have it. And so, yeah, I take it in the morning, just one scoop and a cup of water, and I really feel like I'm giving my body the nutrition it craves and just covering those bases. And it's just nice to start the day and knowing that you got those vitamins and minerals in. So Athletic Greens is offering you a free 1-year supply of immune supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase when you go to athleticgreens.com/GGE. And we've said that we've turned so many family and friends onto this. I love when I go to like my brother's house house or a friend's house and I see it in their cupboards, and they really have gotten, for lack of a better word, healthily addicted to it as well and take it every day. We bring it on the road with us. They have these great little travel packs that are the exact serving that you need every morning. So it's really easy to keep the routine up, and it's a quick, easy habit. Rayna does hers after you work out.
After I work out.
Yeah. We both like really ice cold water, but you can do whatever works for you. I have a few smoothies I stick it in. The flavor doesn't always totally match, but I do have 2 smoothies that I put it in them. So if that's what you're into, you can do that too. And you are going to absorb 75 high quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help you start your day right. This blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, aging, all the things. We just can't get enough of it. I can't think of like a better thing just to add into your daily routine that's going to just do all the good things for you. And again, your subscription comes with a year's supply of vitamin D, which is so important. And right now it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just 1 scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/GGE. Again, that is athleticgreens.com/GGE to take ownership of your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
Yes. And you guys know we love everything that Native does. They are literally the only reason why I take showers. But this time of year, I am sitting outside more. I'm getting a lot of sun on my face. And I love that they make sunscreen, which is so, so great that I've been using honestly every day. Their quick absorbing, ultra sheer, hydrating, and lightweight sunscreen formula offers broad spectrum SPF 30 protection from UVA and UVB rays. All Native sunscreen is made with 20% active zinc oxide formula that is dermatologist tested and suitable for sensitive skin. It just feels really like nice and light on my skin. It absorbs really easily. You choose from one of Native's 3 delicious and subtle scents. So they have coconut and pineapple, which is Ashley's favorite. They have rosé, which I just love that they thought to do that for summer, a rosé sunscreen, and sweet peach and nectar, which is my favorite for your face and body. They also have an unscented option, of course, and Native sunscreen is compliant with the Hawaii Act, which was passed in an effort to protect Hawaii's reefs. I use it constantly. I'm into skincare now because, I'm getting older and we live in California. So there are so many options for sunscreen. This really is just such a fantastic one, and I'm really loving using it. You can give your skin the protection it deserves with Native's mineral sunscreens. Right now, go to nativedeo.com/GGE or use promo code GGE at checkout to get a sweet 20% off your first order. That's nativedeo.com/GGE or use promo code GGE at checkout for 20% off your first order.
And speaking of coconut and pineapple, our pina colada blow gel. It's just, what's your word? People are storming the store.
Storming the store.
Yeah, they're selling out. Yeah, so get that pina colada blow gel. This is our company, Vibes Only, if you're new around here. And we sell sex toys and we have a connected app, but the blow gels are such a highlight. People are really sucking some dick. Summer of sucking dick.
It is out. Every summer is that for me. It has outsold our Rayna Vibe. Our Rayna Vibe is our #1 selling item that we have. The Pina Colada Blow Gel has outsold it.
Yes.
People are really sucking dicks.
So that can bring us to our topic today. I'm trying to think of what would be embarrassing that could happen with the blow gel. You run out. You're just like trying to squirt it. You're like, oh, we're out, babe. We're out. I've been sucking too much dick. It's Labor Day. You're like, it was a whole summer.
What's going to happen to me is I'm going to open up the drawer next to my bed and there's like 15 blow gels and a guy's going to be like, how much dick are you sucking?
Exactly. Well, because we're talking about embarrassing things in the bedroom today and Vibes Only, I also thought about your vibrator dying. Of course, solo, but you're not going to be embarrassed solo. But if you bring a toy out with a partner and it's dead or it dies on you, and we have a battery estimator with our app, and it is truly one of the best features. We thought of this before we even launched the company, and we were like, what if? And so when you connect your Vibes Only toy via Bluetooth to the app, you can check the battery. And that is a free feature. So you can download the app for free. And that is one of the features that you get. And you can see, it's like your AirPods. Like, can you imagine? You're so excited to like use a toy in the bedroom and it's just dead.
Devastation.
I would die.
I'll just leave.
I'm dead. Sorry, I'm dead.
I'm dead.
This toy is dead and I'm literally dead. I cannot live.
I was talking to my ex last night. Ugh, the one.
Which one?
You've really gotten soft. I talked to a bunch of exes yesterday. The one in DC that I made out with.
Oh, him. him. Yeah,
he
your
was talking.
soulmate.
Yeah, I was talking to him about some girl that he's dating, and he was saying that he bought a panty vibe for her. And
Ours?
that they no.
What?
Not ours. And he was like, do you even sell one? And I was like, are you even a fan of mine?
What?
And he was like, we'll see how long this lasts because she lives like really far away. And I was like, had you bought ours, dummy, you would have had a long distance lover feature available.
Ugh.
You could have controlled her vibrator from anywhere in the world.
Gross.
But I'm glad he ruined his own relationship by
Yeah.
not getting our products.
Well, he's going to end up with you anyway, and he'll have the whole line.
I hope so.
Okay, so we are talking about embarrassing stuff in the bedroom today. We wanted to direct you all to a 2020 episode called My Nudes, My Rack, My Pussy, and My Crack.
When did we record that?
So it aired on 3/15. So Monday, March 15th, 2020. By Wednesday, the world totally shut down. So I remember St. Patrick's Day, the 17th, was my dad came and picked me up in New York. So
It aired on the 15th?
It aired on the 15th.
So I must have been over there the day we recorded that. That was the day we were talking about, should we cancel the Texas shows? And you were like, I don't want to. And I was like, I do.
Yes. So we got back in town on the 8th. That was
Okay.
like a Sunday or Monday.
Okay.
I got back from Cabo. And then we must have recorded this on like the 10th, 11th. Things were like really dicey. I mean, again, it was so crazy back then. It changed every day.
Yeah.
Like one day felt fine and then the next day didn't. And then all of a sudden, I remember Friday the 13th, I had my first socially distanced comedy show. I was like, okay. And then like by the 14th, people were like, you should stay home. And then by the 15th, it was like, you're an asshole if you're out on these streets. And then the 16th and then the 17th, it was like, go to Delaware.
It's just crazy to me to think
I think
about
of
that
every
time.
day. I can name every day like the way it changed.
I know.
You know what I mean? But so this was truly the last episode before
we
full
did
blown
together.
quarantine. This was our very last episode we were in person for. So iconic title.
Yeah,
And it was really just all about like queefs and farting and body stuff and pussies and
Smells.
dicks and smells and all the things.
Love
So we're
smells.
kind of just doing a reboot with more like actual stuff that can happen. And the thing that spurred this inspiration was I was like recently like hooking up with this guy and we were making out, you know, hot and heavy, whatever, probably some like finger stuff. Like we weren't having sex.
Some people call that sex. We'll talk about the ultimatum next week.
Okay.
I know I find a way to work it in here.
Right. So
We're just doing finger stuff.
well, I don't know where his hands were at the time, but we were like making out hot and heavy, like turned on, whatever. And you know, you're like breathing heavier, which is like also showing somebody that you're into that. But you start to like breathing heavier or whatever. And like I took an inhale and like sniffled, like it wasn't clean and clear breath. And I was like, that's embarrassing.
You stay dripping. You're a little drippy.
My allergies have not acted up, but I was a little like, it like caught, you know, you're like trying to be sexy and it's like,
If you make that sound, have you ever
like
done
a
that while you're
sniffly
kissing?
sound.
Were you kissing when you did it?
Yes, I'm saying we were making out.
It's so embarrassing.
And I was like, oh my God, I heard a sniffle.
Okay, would you rather your teeth touch? That is the worst feeling when
Your teeth touch.
You ever like bump teeth with somebody by
oh my
accident?
God, no, I don't have buck teeth. Buck teeth. When's the last time you heard that phrase?
In July 9th of 2018 when I got new teeth.
Are you bumping teeth? Oh, buck teeth?
I bumped teeth. I have once or twice. You just bump teeth by accident.
I don't, that would like send a chill down my spine.
Yeah, I think I would rather the sniffle because the bump teeth, it really, you feel it in your body.
But my own sniffle took me out of it. I had to get back in the zone and do my breathing exercises like Emily
do
Moore
breath
said
work?
last week. I was like, we have to look into each other's eyes now and breathe
Did you
deeply.
do breath work?
So that was like what made us feel like, let's talk about this again.
That is so funny. Bodies are so gross.
I know. Well, that's the thing. Like, we just want to validate, like, sex is a crazy thing to do. You're butt naked. There's fluids and like body stuff and like smells and all kinds of stuff going on. Like, stuff happens. And it's fine. And it happens to everybody.
Yes. And it's funny because this morning when I was like doing research for this episode and I was Googling like what to do when embarrassing stuff happens in the bedroom, because I've had sex with my fair share of people, but maybe other people have like better ideas for how to deal with like farting and queefing and getting your period on somebody. And like so much of the feedback, every article, every expert was just like, you just got to deal with it and keep it rolling. I mean, that's the answer to everything.
And laugh it off.
This stuff just happens.
Yeah. I will say, I think we said this on the last episode, but queefing, we need to rebrand this as you just did a good job. It's the chef's kiss of fucking. A queef means like you really hit it. I've queefed, I'm sure. It's just air in your vagina. It's like a vagina fart, whatever. And if someone's thrusting in there and air gets in there, it's like no biggie. But more so to me, I feel like I've dealt with like if someone's a little sweaty, your bodies make a fart sound.
Yes, it gives me the ick. I feel it in my body.
But I feel like that happened with an ex of mine and we just like died laughing.
Yeah, it's funny, but like your sternums make the fart.
Oh my God. It's so, when you hear that sound in the bedroom, it's just jarring.
It makes me feel icky when you hear that sound. Has anybody ever farted having sex with you, to your knowledge?
No. And like, honestly, like, I think one of the most mortifying things that could happen is to fart when someone's going down on you.
Oh,
and
my
I
God.
have never done it. And I feel for anyone this has happened to, like my heart goes out to you. We get messages like this all the time. We got emails about it this time. Like I feel your pain and I'm not just going to say, laugh it off. I mean, you have to, but like
You have to go to therapy.
you have to
also,
cry
though.
that
Yeah.
one off. Yeah. It happens to a lot of people. Like you shouldn't feel embarrassed, but like also if it happens to you, you have a story at brunch till the end of time.
I mean, literally. Also, if you're with somebody that doesn't immediately like double over laughing, like that's not your person. What if a guy farted while you were blowing him though?
I know. I'm like, you have to move away from it. Like you do have to stop. I'm not just gonna keep going. I wouldn't expect someone to keep eating my pussy if I farted in their face.
I love sucking dick. I love it so much. But if somebody farted, I would leave the room. I'm not going to sit there in the fart cloud and suck your dick.
For me, if I'm doing it or you do it, I'm crying either way. I'm going in the shower and crying.
What if somebody farted while you were blowing
So
them?
traumatized.
I don't know if I'd ever be able to give a blowjob again.
I don't want to shame people for this happening because it does happen.
I'm not shaming them. I'm just saying, like, if I was in
It's
a car
traumatic.
and
It's
I got into a
traumatic.
car accident, it'd be hard for me to get back in the car.
Right.
And I love driving, you know? Like,
That's fair. It's traumatizing.
I'm just like, what if this happens again? I have to keep telling myself, this is like 1 in a million. This has never happened. I'm so old. I've fucked so many dudes. This has never happened before and probably won't happen again.
It is rare, but the girlies that have farted when someone's eating their pussy, like icons, legends. You have the best and funniest story for the rest of time.
Also,
You
women
are a
like,
unicorn.
cute and dainty. It's like funny when they fart. Men are disgusting. When
Yeah.
they fart, it just like validates what I already think of you. Okay, I'll tell you something that happened to me that was so embarrassing during sex recently. I was having sex with my ex, and his dick is so big, and we were like fucking, and I was ready for it to be over, and he was on top of me like fucking me like really hard, and like his dick was just like hurting me so bad, and he was like, dig your nails into my back, and like I knew it would like make him come, and he was like harder, and I'm like, I want this to end so bad, and I'm like digging my nails so hard into his back, and my nail popped off.
No.
And then a second nail popped off. 2 nails are just somewhere in the bed.
This is his fault.
Yes.
I'm so mad.
His like big, giant, huge, leathery man back. And I'm
Popped
just
your nail extensions off.
yes. And these aren't sharp. They look sharp, but
Yeah, no, it's not sharp.
the manicure gets dull. So these aren't sharp at all, actually. And so they probably weren't like hurting that much. And he was just like harder, and they're just popping off. And then you got to like scavenger hunt the bed for your fake nails. It was so embarrassing.
That is
actually.
so awful.
Thank you. It was horrible for me. Everything on my body is fake, and all of this is out. My tooth has never come out, thank God. But hair extensions, I've had people tug pretty hard on the hair extensions during sex, and they just start to like slow. When you have to just take one out and throw it somewhere in the middle of sex,
I can't
just trying to
relate.
be
I'm
like
not part of this
under the
culture.
radar.
Yeah.
You just take one of your tracks out, and you got to like tuck it under the mattress in the middle of sex. Yes.
No.
It is so embarrassing because you're like, I can't keep going like this because they're gonna like rip my real hair out. But you have to like find a way to unclip it. and
You're
then
talking to me like,
hide
I
it.
know. I've never in my life. To
I just
put it
did.
under the bed.
You gotta like hide
What
it.
if you forget it?
I can't unclip my weave in the middle and just let it be there.
I know plenty of girls do. Jenny Jones is one of those. She's just like, yeah, I'm just going to take it out and put it on the nightstand.
I usually will take it out in the bathroom and like crumple it up in a t-shirt, pre-sex, throw my hair up. In the middle of sex is very funny when you have to get it out
Yeah.
because it's hurting you or it's like dangling. I will say this has happened to me so many times where like a hair extension is dangling. No man's ever noticed.
They don't care.
Their dick's hard. They're not thinking about anything that's going on.
I think they've run
in your
into
hair.
this so many times.
Yes.
This is old hat for them.
Everything on my body is fake and may pop off at some point.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, we're going to share some stories that we used to tell at live shows. And I don't think we've shared a lot of these in the podcast, but I was going to share an experience that happened after your birthday in 2021. So we were back in the streets. That night we went out. That was the first time I was in a bar that was no restrictions. You know, things were starting to lift in June of 2021.
Yes.
People were vaxxed and all that. So we did the boat and then I hooked up with this guy afterwards and we'd been flirting all night. And then we like made out in the bar. I was like, I can't believe I'm making out in a bar post-COVID.
It was the best moment.
It was such a good moment. Like we weren't like sloppy, embarrassing, even though we have seen friends of ours make out in that same bar. Not going to say who
it was. He's been on this podcast a lot.
And like we just kissed briefly and I was like, oh my God, I'm so turned on by just being in the world and being able to like
it was amazing.
Have someone's tongue in my mouth. And we go back to my place and we had sex like all night off and on. We were kind of drunk, you know, whatever. But two things happened. One, I was like laying at the edge of the bed. He was standing, fucking me. And I was like really into it. It felt really good. I was like, oh my God, like I might come, you know, even though I'm drunk. And so I was like almost there. It felt so good. And he leaned in and he was like, hold on a second. And I'm like, oh my God, what? Why do we have to stop? And he was like, I have to take my shoes off. Shoes? You've just been down there, pants around the ankles, Timberlands. They're big boots.
shoes.
He wore boots on a boat.
Listen, I relate to this because I've had clothing items that you just cannot take off, like a corset. It's really hard to get certain things on.
But I was like, we got this far. Just keep the shoes on till I come.
Oh, okay. You would prefer to just not mention it.
Why did we have to stop?
Do you think he was like, I'll be done with this in a second, so I don't have to like take these shoes off? And like 10 minutes in, he was like, I should take these shoes off.
I don't know. I can't remember. I think maybe we like scooted up to the top of the bed. Like we actually did like another position. Maybe he was just ready to switch positions. And he was like, I can't get up there. That was like round one. I think we had sex like 3 separate times in the night. The second time, we're sitting on my floor. I think just playing with Azul, whatever. We start making out. We start fucking on the floor. And I have never in my life felt a discomfort like that during sex. Like hardwood floor, sticky body. You're not sliding around. He was on top of me. I felt like he was thrusting into me and my body was caught between like 2 boards, like his hard body and my like hardwood floor.
It's so embarrassing for me because in my mind, I'm like, act cool. Act like this is fun. You're like, I hate this.
Like, I couldn't live. And like, I was joking that, you know, you hear Ludacris be like, I want to lick you from your head to your toes. I want to move from the bed down to the floor. And you're like, the floor is not sexy if it's a hardwood. You can fuck on a rug, but like hardwood floor, like I had to stop when this guttural sound came out of my body. I was like, ah! Like it came up out of me. Like he pushed it up out of me. I remember the next day, Jenny was dying all day. She was like, what was that sound again? Like it came up out of my body when he like thrust it into me and like I'm stuck to the floor.
With a new person, you just like want to act like you're so into it and it's hot.
Totally.
You, like, be the cool chick that like loves fucking on this floor. And it's like with an existing person, you'd be like, I hate this. Stop doing this.
His knees are probably on the floor. You know, like this is uncomfortable for everybody. So I was like, we have to stop this nonsense. Fucking on the floor. I have dog hair all over me.
I do just try to see like how long can I tolerate this? But like, I don't know, 5 minutes?
You just have to say stop. Move it somewhere else. You got to be comfortable.
When someone's choking you like too hard or they got their arm against
There is no limit. Limit does not exist.
Really? Do you pass out?
No. I can take a lot, I feel like. Like that guy had me in a chokehold in Greece.
But like, I feel like sometimes I don't know how much longer until I pass out. And like, I know that
Like this is something you should check with your doctor about. Like how much can I handle?
Like I think they're enjoying themselves and I don't want to stop them. But like sometimes their whole forearm is like across your collarbone and your trachea and they're like crushing your windpipe and you're just like, I know that they're enjoying
That's not choking. That's something different.
That's murder. Do you know what I mean? They're like leaning.
Well, the guy in Greece had me
like that.
in a chokehold like this
From
around.
behind.
But you're saying someone.
I'm saying somebody's on top of you and they're choking you, but their arm is so big they're like pressing into your collarbone and
I don't
like
want
your
that.
windpipe.
We're tucking hand.
All right, well, we've had different kinds of sex.
But then I've had like this, his elbows around my neck, and I was like, this is it. She died doing what she loved, getting choked by the driver.
If you died and I came home, I'd be like, I know what happened here. The cops would be like, what do we think happened here? I'd be like, let me take the mic, guys.
You're like, you know what? Let me get a look at her neck, and I'm going to be able to tell you real quick.
I know exactly.
No
what
autopsy
happened.
needed.
Yep, doggy style. She went out. That's how she went out. Clothing is just like so awkward too. Like speaking of the Timberlands, like getting shapewear off before you have sex.
Well, whatever. You're in the heat of the moment, but I don't really do like traditional shapewear. Like I rarely wear Spanx, maybe like once a year. But I feel like a lot of women go in the bathroom and take them off before.
Oh, okay.
That's tough.
Those things are tough. Like in the heat of the moment, the corset I wore to Boston, I was thinking like, if I had to get this off for somebody, this would be crazy. This is just staying on for sex. Somebody that like fumbles to get like your bra off or your bodysuit open. Many times somebody's like fumbled to get the bodysuit open, and I'm just like, let's just pull this to the side.
Right, pull it to the side. I had a guy one time that just could not get my bra, and he pulled it over my head. I'm like, excuse
That's
me,
crazy.
this is $100 bra.
Just smashed your titties up
Just
against
pulled it over my
No.
head. I was like, what are you thinking? I can't tell this is nice shit.
That's crazy.
Yeah, take it in. It's fucking insane.
funny.
I was like, it was like coming. It's like coming up here.
I'm thinking about when the
like
tightest
choking
part
me.
of the thing is just across your nipples, just
and it's
smashing
like
your nipples
choking me as
in.
it comes up, you know? Oh my
But
god.
you didn't offer to assist. You were just like, I can't believe this is happening.
It would like happen before I
Happened
knew
so
what to
quick.
do about it. I was like, that's not how you take a bra off. It's not a sports bra.
Somebody was shimmying a bra up my whole body. I would die.
Okay, do you want to talk about your clothing situation?
So it's like so funny because I've always fantasized about fucking in a green room after our shows, and I've always fantasized about fucking in a specific outfit, and it happened. And in my mind, it was so much better than like what actually happened. I've worn this outfit twice. I wore it in Boston the first time a couple years ago. It's a blazer sewn into a pair of shorts. So the back is one piece, the front is shorts.
romper.
That kind of like, it's also known as a romper. Yes, it's a blazer romper. Thank you so much.
Yeah. I was like, what is she talking about? It's a top sewn into the bottom. The top and the bottom are connected. I don't know if you guys have seen them. They can often be found on toddlers.
Mansplaining to me what a romper is. I have hundreds of them in my
I don't know if you
life.
guys have ever seen this when they like put the top and the bottom in like one piece.
I was like, listen, stay with me on this journey, guys. Have you ever seen this thing where it's one piece in the back? The shorts are sewn into the top.
I was saying like, is she going to say romper at any point?
I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this. We're so successful where you have access to things that you don't.
Probably never seen this rare garment. But
Like I'm describing this thing as its own category on every website on the internet.
oh my
Thank
gosh.
you for helping me. I was wearing this blazer romper and I was on top of this guy in the green room, and like the whole experience was so weird. Basically, we were like flirting in the green room with you and some other people, and you were like, why don't you guys go get a room? And then we just did.
Yeah, I was like, can you guys just go get a room? And you did. And I was like, the rush that I felt. I was like, I should run for president just to tell two people to go fuck and they just go. What a thrill.
I mean, that guy is so hot.
Oh my God,
you
he's so
could
wonderful.
suggest that anybody fuck him, Azul, and Azul would be like, I'm down. That guy's so big and so hot.
Yeah.
So we went to the other room, and it is awkward because there's like a 1 foot wall between you and me and him, and all the lights
And
are
Tessa.
on, and Tessa was there too, and the lights are all on, and the
Yeah.
door didn't lock, and the venue staff is right there outside
Right.
the door, but I wasn't going to not take this opportunity. It's my greatest fantasy in the world.
Right.
And so we were like in this room, and I'm on top of him, and we're like hooking up, and his dick is out. I'm straddling him, but like you can't get the romper off. So I unbutton the blazer, and the blazer top is hanging off the back, sewn into the shorts, as you guys know. And then I'm like, I realize the door doesn't lock, so I have to stand up and waddle across the room in this thing.
my
and
God.
I could have just unzipped it and taken it off, but in my mind, I'm like, I don't know this person. I'm probably not going to fuck this person. I don't know, maybe. And all the lights are on. This is so awkward. So I left it on. So I'm just walking around with the blazer hanging off my thing to lock the door. And then he put a chair right in front of the door and just dropped it and sat down so that I had to sit on top of him to have sex. I just had to like unzip this romper.
it's hanging out the back.
Yeah,
like
it was
a tail.
It was really awkward.
Like a cape.
Yeah, it was like a cape, like a romper cape. The whole experience was really uncomfortable and awkward. I have breast reduction scars hanging out. It's broad daylight in
At
this
the end of the
room.
day, they were popping too.
Yeah, they were
We
popping.
just done a show. Those scars were like, we've been working all night.
It's late. Yes, they were probably really red.
No.
It was a whole awkward sexual experience. I don't know. I also like didn't care. It was fun. It like makes me laugh, makes me
Totally.
smile. He's so hot. That guy still texts me all the time, wants to fuck again. It reminds me that like none of this stuff is that big of a deal. Like how awkward I acted. We were so drunk. He like couldn't keep it up. None of it mattered. Sex is weird and funny, and like no one cares.
Yeah. But clothing stuff is crazy. I think Dylan and Usama, when they were doing their podcast, posted a clip about a belt, taking belts off.
I don't know how to do it.
Belts. And then I feel like this is hypocritical because we're like, wait, you can't unhook my bra. But I can get a belt off, but I am stressed. I am peak anxious when there's a belt in my face and I have to undo it. It doesn't ever feel sexy. Like it doesn't slip off like you see in the movies. I'm always fumbling a belt.
You can slide it out first, but to unhook it, you're like yanking back so hard and their hips are jerking. And you're like really going hard. I feel like I could learn how to fly a plane before I learn how to like sexy take a belt off.
Same.
I can't do it. I don't know how to do it. You are always just like jerking them back.
And then if it's like that softer, a little more malleable leather, it's easier to unhook. But that thing is just sticking, trying to get off. And if it's like a harder, slicker leather, way hard to unbuckle, but that'll slip right off. So the two don't even mesh together. Like that's the fakest thing about the movies and porn is belts.
Honestly, when I get to the button, I fumble too sometimes.
Yeah.
Like if you have any type of stomach hanging over, I will never get that button open.
Yeah.
Awkward. We have to acknowledge together that you have a gut. Can you just open this for me?
Stop. I mean, I can't relate. I relate to hot guys with hot bodies. No, I'm kidding. But maybe not. But yes, like we're over here talking about guys that can't get bras and stuff, but it's the same thing when it comes to pants.
I can't do it. Actually, when I fantasize about having sex, men are mostly wearing joggers. Like even my fantasies know I'm never going to get a belt off.
Yeah.
No one's wearing a belt in my fantasies. You?
I'm wearing a belt in my fantasies. I don't know. What is the guy wearing in my fantasies? The removal of his pants is not a part of my fantasies. Okay. Like I block it out. Because you deal with that. But yeah, it's like guys taking their pants off, like especially if it's like a skinnier at the ankle. It's a whole production.
I plan this out and I don't think about it. So like in my fantasy, I'm like in the green room and the guy like pushes me up against the wall. He's just suddenly inside of me. I don't think about the fact that like we have to unbutton his pants and take his shoes off and they're just hanging around his ankles while he's awkwardly fucking me against a wall and you can't even really get it into the hole from that angle. Like,
I know.
In my fantasies, this is all a lot easier.
Yeah. I'm like been thinking about a situation that I have coming up. Well, it will have passed as this episode comes out, where I'm like, I just want him to like walk into the hotel room and we start fucking, but there's so many more things that have to happen before that.
So many, and it's all awkward.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
I'm really amped for you.
Okay. Well, hopefully he's not going to be wearing a belt. No belts allowed.
I'll just text him, don't wear a belt. And he'll be like, why? And you'll be, don't worry about it.
Okay. Have you ever been walked in on or walked in on anybody? Like, have you ever had a really awkward moment?
No, I was thinking about this the other day. I don't think that I have ever been walked in on doing any sexual act except for this one time this girl watched me fuck her boyfriend, but she liked
planned.
It. Yeah.
I was in Nashville and I was staying with a friend of mine and her husband at the time, and we went out and I met his friend and immediately like we clicked, and then I was staying with her in their house and me and the friend went back before them to fuck.
Okay.
And then they came home and came into the room and walked into the bedroom. She was just like, Ashley, what's up? I had brought Dewey. I think Dewey was outside the bedroom.
You were above the sheets?
I was riding him.
Dick in pussy.
Fully, like, she walked in and saw me, like, on top of him, riding him, my bare back.
It is so shocking.
And it's like, that was her husband's friend. Like, it was just, I think they knew we were going to hook up, but like, we beat them back to the house and they walk into their guest bedroom and I'm just like riding this dude. And I think she was like, why is Dewey outside the door?
I actually like can't even imagine it. Like, I've never walked in on anybody having sex.
They were so funny about it. Like, the next morning when we came down, we were like, good morning. So weird, right?
That does remind me of the time that I had phone sex at your brother's wedding. And
that's so funny. You weren't at the wedding.
So there was a big house everybody was staying at, and I had phone sex, and I did it like under the blanket with my ex. And I don't know, for some reason, my drunk ass thought that like the blanket was gonna muffle the sound throughout the whole house. And then I figured nobody heard it, and I came down the next morning, no one was making fun of me yet, so I was like, definitely no one heard it. And then everybody heard it.
My dad snored through it, but
Your
my mom heard it.
Yeah. And then I went back for round 2 the second night. She heard it both nights.
You know what came up a lot, and this happened to me the last time I hooked up with somebody, actually not too long ago, is cramps.
Yeah, we got a lot of messages about cramps.
It wasn't during sex, but it was right after, and he really did have to like massage my leg. But I have gotten a cramp during sex that is unbelievable,
because
a lot of times, yes, like a Charlie. Oh my God, I could cry right now
like
thinking about it. This is my toes when I get a Charlie horse. They are like spread.
I think I like audibly go, no, no, no. You feel it coming on into my stomach.
My God.
I hate it so much. A couple things came up that like you realize after sex. This thing made me laugh when I was thinking about like dirty talk when it's over and you realize stuff you've said. I always say like stuff you can't even do physically, like humanly possible.
You realize you said the wrong word. You realize you said comfortability. That's so funny.
I never get done fucking and remember my
your
grammar.
dirty talk and you're like, I used the wrong word. You flub your dirty
My
talk.
sentence structure was grammatically incorrect. Sometimes in the heat of the moment, I realized like that someone else's dirty talk was like super ick.
Really?
Just crazy shit. And then in the moment, I pretended I liked.
Like, what would be an example? What don't you like?
I had an ex that I think this is pretty common, but he really liked pregnancy dirty talk. He loved talking about getting me pregnant while he was fucking me. And like, it just gives me the ick.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. I mean, some people are into it.
A lot of people are into it. Like a lot of guys are super into it. I don't like it. It skeeves me out. It's too loving for me. I just want to be degraded a little more than that rather than like I want to create a family with you.
It is crazy. Like we've talked to this before, but the stuff that you like say and do sometimes in the bedroom, you think about it later and it kind of comes back to you in the same way that something you did drunk comes back to you.
Yes.
You know, you get these flashbacks the next day.
Yes.
And they just like hit you. You're just like trying to make a sandwich. You're like, oh my God, I said what? Oh my God. Like I will like literally out loud be like, oh my God, I am embarrassed at myself. I'm like, who was she?
There are things I do think are so sexy when I'm like a little drunk and I'm like about to fuck. Like I'll stumble into the other room, put on lingerie. You know, they can hear you like tripping as you try to get into the garter belt. Like I've fully tripped in the other room a lot of times trying to get into this stuff. You know, less sexy stuff upstairs.
Yeah. In your head at the time, you would never even think they could hear you or know what you're doing back there.
No, in my like 1 square foot apartment in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
You know what has happened to me after sex is realized that I used a used butt plug.
Oh my God.
It was somebody else. It's really embarrassing because like you get done and you're like, I didn't even ask.
That's so crazy.
I didn't even ask if you washed this between girls.
Oh my God.
It's
You didn't wash it.
oh, so disgusting. No, I didn't wash it. I didn't request it to be washed. He just pulled it out and I was like, let's stick this somewhere.
Yeah, in the heat of the moment, things are crazy. Well, you're fine.
I'm embarrassed about it every day. But yes, I'm fine. My butthole's fine. Oh, it's so bad.
Yes, some of the things that came up were, of course, getting your period during sex, which here's the thing. I think I've shared this in the podcast before. So pardon me if you're familiar with the story, but guys love for you to get your period during sex. They think they did it. I remember this guy that I dated. This was the guy that I had my very first orgasm with when he went down on me. This was like the summer I was like 19, I think, 19 or 20. And we were having sex and he came out of the bathroom. We'd finished or whatever. And he was like, babe, I think I knocked your period loose.
God,
knocked it loose.
They're so proud of their fucking selves.
That's not how it works.
But
there's
should tell
nothing to
them.
knock up there.
That's how you recover from it. You should just tell them.
I was like, baby, you really, I mean, that guy could have fucked. That was not the person I lost my virginity to. And this was like after my freshman or sophomore year in college, maybe between like sophomore and junior year. So I'd had sex with people in college, but like the first like really like dirty talk, orgasms, like throwing me around, like a really sexual person that taught me a lot. And that's when I really started to enjoy sex with someone like that. But yeah, that was the guy that was just like knocked it loose. I'm like, you don't understand bodies. I guess you do actually. You understand how to please me, but I think they take pride in it. So never worry about that.
I love that tip. It would just be funny if you were fucking a guy and he like thought that, and then you're like, your last girlfriend lied to you and told you that was the case. Like I know some girl told you that,
But yeah, it'd be funny to be like, oh my God, you must have just like hit something. Open the
dick's so
floodgates. Open the
huge.
bloodgates. I guess I opened the bloodgates.
It's cute.
Yeah.
I got my period during sex once. It was a lot of blood. It is.
Everybody's so different. Like my periods usually would start out a little more light. Like I wouldn't just all of a sudden start bleeding profusely.
That's why it's the only time it's ever happened to me because I have like a warning shot a couple days where I like know I'm about to get my period. This is the only time it's ever happened. I was sitting up on top of somebody like fucking them and I like lifted up and like blood came.
Blood.
Oh, a lot of blood.
Yeah.
It was really gross.
Oh, man.
But like I've certainly like bled all over somebody's sheets. I've certainly like thought my period was over and there's just blood and semen mixed together and it's just like all over the place. It's like, I don't know.
God.
Guys don't care.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because if your penis bled on me, I would lose my mind.
Well, that's something's wrong. Probably. We should go to the hospital.
I've like never met a guy that cared. No one cares.
Yeah. Should we read some of the one-liners?
Yeah.
Okay. So we asked for stories, one-liners. Rayna, do you want to do this one? This is very you. The second one that's highlighted.
I know it. I already knew you were talking about it. He went down on me and found a little piece of toilet paper. At least he knows I wiped. Listen, some people have puffy pussies and it just eats the toilet paper.
No, some people are using the wrong toilet paper. Charmin, get the fuck out. If you are using that soft ass toilet paper, that's the kind that crumbles and gets stuck up in there. You got to use a little rougher stuff.
You use rough stuff?
I will use Scott's industrial.
That is crazy.
That's not
You're
what I
wiping
use.
with tissue paper.
I don't buy Scott's, but I will get down with some Scott's. I buy Angel Soft, but I will die on this hill. Like that Charmin, it comes apart in your hands.
It's too puffy.
It's too fluffy and soft. I don't need that. First of all, I'm trying to wipe stuff away. Why am I using a plush paper?
I literally am imagining you like wiping with the tissue paper from the gift section.
I would. I'll use a rough paper towel. Restaurant quality. No, this happens to everybody. Nikki Glaser does a whole bit about this of like little piece of toilet paper, like in your butt crack and your pussy. It happens.
I think it happens to a lot of people. No one's ever said a word to me about it in my entire life.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's happened a lot. This came up kind of like got a condom stuck inside of me and then I had to go get it out.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it just happens a lot. And I think you just have to like laugh it off and bear down and fish it out. I mean, it happens.
Down. Okay, this one I can relate. It's a little gross, but he got so sweaty, a drip of sweat from the tip of his nose landed in my mouth.
I would really need a minute to recover from that. And that's crazy because I let people spit in my mouth and I feel fine about it. And for some reason, the accidental drip.
I think it happened to me once and I really felt
I feel sick thinking
so
about
grossed
it.
out about it. Like, I don't like anything dropping on my face. You know how you walk around in New York City and just droplets fall on you? Yeah. It's not raining. You don't know where they're coming from. Yeah, I don't like it.
I don't want it. It needs to be intentional. I need you to spit on me.
Or come on me.
Yes.
Yeah. This one is so embarrassing. He told me I didn't have to be so loud. It sounds fake.
If somebody corrected my moaning.
No. Also, like, I'm out. That's crazy. First of all, no one should shame me for something like that. But I'm like, who's complaining about that?
A friend of ours, our video guy, was telling me that he checked into a hotel the other day and the couple in this room next door were fucking. And he was like, it was so loud. It sounded like performative. But yeah. I was like, did you jerk off to it? That's so cool. And he was like, no, it sounded like too loud. And it reminded me of this because like, I get really loud. Yeah. I think I could sound performative a little bit.
Well, I'd be curious if she was performing, if she really was like, he was right. But no one should shame you for that.
Absolutely.
But that's embarrassing.
I get a little loud. And if somebody was like, that sounds fake, has anybody told you you're talking too much during sex?
Oh my God. What? No.
Okay. So just make...
No, I feel that. How did they say
in the
it?
context? So I had an ex who kind of has a hard time getting there if you're like talking too much, making too much noise, like really just needs to like be in their own head to come. He has been through some trauma. Yeah. So yeah, like requested a little less chatter.
Rayna. Stop.
I had this guy who told me that like, yeah, the compliments kind of took him out of it. Like, you're so hot, your dick feels so good that like it kind of took him out of it. Like some people just need like a little more silence to like keep it up and to come and to be in the moment. I always think like men can come every single time, but like there are some guys that just need like a little more focus, either to not come right away or to be able to come.
Yeah, everybody is so different. I mean, you can just strike the balance with your partner. I mean, also at the same time, I'm cringing because it's like I would feel embarrassed, you know, like someone is critiquing the way you are in the bedroom, but these things are also important to communicate. Like, I don't know, their delivery might have been off, but that's something no matter who you are, what side of the relationship you're on, you should express. If I was dating a guy, which I don't know, I feel like dirty talk, the limit does not exist. But if I felt like it was too much or obviously not enough, you would express something that turns you on. You're not just going to deal with it. You should never deal with something that's turning you off in the bedroom.
I was not insulted by it.
Delivery is important.
I was not insulted by it. The delivery was very much like, I need a little more focus, basically, to like get there.
It would crush me in the moment, though. Of course, you want to not do something that's turning your partner off, but it would really sting, I think. If someone was like, can you cut down the dirty talk? I'd be like, oh. Like dagger to the heart.
It's a dagger to the heart because it's so important to me and I like it so much and it makes the experience so good for me and it's not performative at all. Like I'm really just saying things I feel in the moment.
Yeah.
And so if somebody's like, it takes me out of the moment when you're so like that. And then I'm in my head the next time during sex being like, am I doing it too much? But like, I totally agree with you that like, I don't mind the feedback if this is making it not the best experience in the world for you.
But I'm like, two people, if one doesn't like it at all and you love it, like you might just not be a match. I mean, you're not a match anyway, but that is something you have to assess within your own relationship because that would be tough.
I've been with two people who are pretty silent during sex and I don't really enjoy sex with them that much. It doesn't make the experience very fun. And for me, if I'm not sexually compatible with somebody, I don't really see a future with them. And not everybody is as sexual of a person. It doesn't matter to you. Or you're like, I'm not going to have sex that much with this person after a year and a half. Who cares? But like, I do care. So
Yeah.
it's a pretty big deal breaker for me.
Yeah, I'm with you. I love this one. My boyfriend at the time tried to choke me, but he lost balance and actually started choking me.
That's what I'm
Like
saying.
when he kind of stumbled and he was like, oh, like that's tough. I hope everyone's okay.
Use your boob to break their fall.
Yeah, like that's so funny. 1 minute you're just like, and then you're like, ah, like you're literally dying. You start turning purple.
Yeah, and you're like, I don't know when to say something.
Oh my gosh.
So this also everything. I'm like, this happens to me. My hip makes a loud pop like I'm 80 years old. So I do this fake cough when I get on top. The fact that this is her workaround.
That is so like your hip's gonna pop, so you're like like you have to cough to mask the sound.
I crack here really loud. Like, I don't know what you call these. It's my hips, but like next to my
hip
vagina. Let me see.
flexors.
Hold on. Oh, I did it for Ashley, and that's why she made that sound.
That's in your hips, not your knees.
It's here. It's
Your
like
hip flexors.
in my hip flexors.
Yeah.
They crack pretty loud. And like I have already stretched today. I did a pre-stretch. I worked out. I did a post-workout stretch, and they still are like that. It's like a party trick.
That is
I don't
so
care at all.
funny.
I think it's hilarious, but it is pretty loud
Yeah.
and shocking. So yeah, listen, it happens to all of us. I love that she's a workaround. I would never.
Yeah, you stretch a lot. I would make my ex stretch me out after sex, like do butterfly and have him push down because you can get like so much deeper. Oh my God, it feels so good just right now. I did inner thighs yesterday at Solid Core. Oh, this is nice.
This is nice.
Okay.
Get a nice stress in. I mean, tons of stuff came up. Finishing too quick, not being able to finish it all.
Have you ever
The way you were sitting right now is so distracting.
accused your partner
Of pretending to come?
of faking it because
Yep.
it didn't come out in the toilet?
Absolutely. Listen, I had one partner.
But he did?
There was never cum that came out of my body. This went on for like so long, and I never knew how to bring it up. Like, it kind of grosses me out, but it's like my payoff for a job well done when I go sit on the toilet and squeeze your cum out of me. It's how I know I did a nice job, and it's like
Well,
it's my little
yeah.
payoff. And yes, I had one partner who like it never came out of me, so he was either faking it every single time,
Or he just didn't
it
have a
was
lot.
like a little tiny baby load, and like. I didn't really have the language back then. That's a really hard thing to ask somebody. And it also sounds kind of crazy because you're like, I sat on the toilet, no cum came out of it.
It's
Like
crazy.
The way you have to explain to somebody why you know they didn't come. And then you have to be like, with all the other guys I fucked, like there's so many things you have to hit to explain like why I know you didn't come.
Yeah, because you're comparing him to other guys. Like with the ex that I did this with, I was comparing it to previous times with him. And we had a fun relationship. Like he thought I was crazy for asking that. And I was like, well, am I? Like we fuck every day. And then I go to the bathroom and your cum falls out of me. So where is it? Tell me where it is. Where did it go?
Prove it.
Prove it. At that point in our relationship, I wouldn't have faked an orgasm with him. So I don't want to be faking orgasms. You know what I mean? But
Ever.
He
I don't.
swore up and down. I should text him now. Remember
Maybe-
that time? Be honest, were you lying?
I should text this guy. Be honest, for that whole few years we were sleeping together, were you lying? Did you never like it?
Some people just have less cum. I slept with a guy not too long ago that cum everywhere. I was like, that was a lot of cum. He was like, yeah. He was like, it's embarrassing when it's not a lot.
You were like, mommy's proud of you.
He was young. Okay. You know what? On that note, we have really told a lot of stories today.
We really have. A lot of the stuff we talk about at the live shows.
But
So,
still, we still have so much saved up.
summer of fucking.
Summer of pina colada.
I'm excited. And we have a whole fall of shows where we have new stories to round up for those. And maybe one more show this summer. We'll let you guys know.
What? What show? Oh. Okay. She's right.
We'll let you guys know.
Okay. Well, hope you enjoyed this episode and you guys come back next week for the first episode of Cancer Season.
Damn it. Tease
I was going to
cancer
do it
season.
today, but I was just going to let you have your one last Monday of Gemini season. So to take us out, girlsgottaeat.com, get those tickets for the fall shows. We are wrapped with the first half of the year and we've had such a great time and we pick up again in the fall. And then this one show we'll be announcing soon in the summer. It's a sort of show. It's whatever. And
It's a show. It's a big show.
well, it's the different type. It's not on our tour.
Yeah.
It's not part of the Snack City
It's a
tour.
festival. We'll
part
announce
of
it
another
later.
food
Yeah.
thing. Okay. And Girls Gotta Eat podcast on both Instagram and TikTok. I am Ash Hess on everything. Rayna is Rayna.Greenberg. Girls_Gotta Eat on Twitter. And of course, YouTube, subscribe, share this episode with a friend, share it with your partner, laugh about all the embarrassing stuff that happens in the bedroom. Vibesonly.com, Vibes Only on Instagram. And we will see you next week.
Have a good week, guys.
Bye.
Ah!